Hopefully you just watched my video explaining template compilation and the virtual DOM. In this bonus video, I asked Evan You, the creator of Vue, to talk about the future of the virtual DOM in Vue.js, along with improvements that we might expect to see over time, or perhaps even ones we can help with.
So first, credits to SnapDOM. This SnapDOM was the original implementation that Vue's virtual DOM was based upon. Vue's current implementation is essentially a fork of SnapDOM. The great thing about SnapDOM is its design in the modularity of its patching algorithm. For example, the different parts of your data, the style, class, and attributes are each handled by a separate module, which means you can actually construct a different virtual DOM patch function with different list of modules for different platforms. So that's part of the thing that enables Vue to become platform agnostic and be used inside Weeks or NativeScript. As we know, there are obviously a lot of things that we want to improve for the current implementation. One of it is it's a bit more complicated than I hope it can be. We do want to further trim down the virtual DOM implementation size, and also projects like Inferno shows that the performance limit of virtual DOM is still out there. Vue is already quite performant, but
What's Inferno?
Inferno is a React alternative implementation that is extremely performant. Its whole purpose is being fast. Vue's implementation is performant enough. When we look at the benchmarks, you should always take the benchmarks with a grain of salt, but it's kind of like a very general reflection that the three major frameworks are pretty much on par with each other in terms of the common use cases. But I believe Vue can be even faster if we do a deep optimization of the virtual DOM algorithms, because Vue has the unique opportunity of compiling templates into virtual DOM. This is the part where we can take some ideas, like Angular also compiles templates. It doesn't really use a virtual DOM, but the common trait about having a template compilation step is there are a lot of static analysis that you can do to produce more performant code. Similar to how GCC have different optimization levels that can produce more performant assembly, right? Template compilers have the opportunity to improve over time. We can keep the Vue template syntax the same over 10 years, but the underlying implementation can keep improving and producing faster code. So that's the idea we want to carry in the framework going forward. We want to make sure we have a stable API, but underlying the framework, we are doing these performance improvements that does not require you to rewrite your code. One last note about virtual DOM, right? So virtual DOM is not about being super fast. Right? Virtual DOM is actually a trade-off. It actually makes things slower than it should be. It's an abstraction layer. It actually creates these virtual objects. Then you have to patch them, diff them, and that actually is slower than, say, directly manipulating the DOM, right? However, why do we need virtual DOM is the power of render functions, where you get access to full JavaScript. You can do arbitrary logic. You can build functional wrapper components. You can build higher order components that's just JavaScript. You can build complex logic components like Vue, like the router view. It's just pure JavaScript. So having a virtual DOM layer that the user can drop down into and do full JavaScript manipulations, to do full JavaScript-powered compositions, I believe it's important, because when you are constrained to only templates, there are certain things you will find awkward to do. So having this kind of escape hatch when you really need that extra expressive power is really important.
Did you notice he mentioned functional components as one tool you can use to write expressive JavaScript to scale your Vue apps? That's coming up in the very next lesson.